Good. So today we're going to look at basically work to do when you have nothing else to do. So this is going to be your absolute lowest priority work to do, but it's something that would really help me out a lot. And it's basically just so I'll tell you how Heat and Dinner makes most of our money, and this is how real estate investors make most of their money, and that is driving around and finding houses. Maybe not driving around, but finding houses that need a certain amount of repair to them. Maybe the owner is an absentee owner, maybe it's a rental, maybe it's just a project or a house that needs a lot of work and has an owner that doesn't necessarily care about making the most money when they sell it. So we look for those owners, we look for those people, whether they're repaired, maybe the house is getting ready to go up for auction. Maybe the house, is just maybe there's no one even living in it. Maybe it's a probate situation where someone passed away and it's been sitting there for a while, deciding what to do with it. Maybe maybe someone just wants to sell it, but necessarily isn't keeping up with it. Maybe they have health issues or whatever else. So basically, today we're going to look at what I need as far as tracking these down. And I'll break up on another screen to just a simple Excel screen, basically. And I'll give you this Excel screen as well. We might change this to something later on. But basically, this is just going to be address. Okay. And we can make this fancy. We can make it for, Mount Lake Terrace. Mount Lake Terrace is actually where I live. And so the next one will be, another town, whatever that is. And so basically, this is just the start of it. I'll produce another video later on, but this is just basically driving around the neighborhoods and looking for houses that may or may not need some work to it. So it's pretty straightforward. But again, this is really important, and each one of these houses is going to be, if we can find one, it's going to be pretty important. So these are newer houses, and there's some of them are going to be newer, some of them aren't. So you see here, if you notice the upper left-hand corner, we got Mount Lake Terrace. If you drive across the street, I believe that is a Shoreline address. Not 100% sure. Um, let's go this way. Let's go this way. And I think now we are in Shoreline. Oh, Lake Forest Park. Sorry. So there's different neighborhoods that kind of join Mount Lake Terrace, if you will. So we're just going to look at Mount Lake Terrace, and I'm starting down here because this is the lower left-hand corner of Mount Lake Terrace. Over here is Lake Forest Park, as you just noticed. Over here is Lake Forest Park. So this is going to be Mount Lake Terrace. So it's better to start with one area, and you might want to, just print one of these maps off, or just kind of look on the map and kind of know. So this area right here, and I know this because I've done this quite a few times, and I live here. So this is going to be Mount Lake Terrace. And it looks like a lot of houses, but it's not really. I think it goes up to here and then comes back down to here and then over here and then over here and over here. And this is all of Mount Lake Terrace. So we're just going to be basically driving down these streets and finding addresses for homes. And then later in, there'll be some more work, basically where you look on Realist. I have another program that's called House Data Source, and it'll tell you exactly how much they owe on their property, because if they owe, more than the house is worth, it's going to be a waste of time to actually drive it. So these are properties that I am going to actually, once I look at this, I will look at the house. I'll actually drive these properties and knock on the door and/or send out postcards or mailers to them. So basically, what we're looking for are houses that are in disrepair. So this is houses. I can tell just by looking at it. These are mostly tri-level houses, 80s houses. Nicer probably. You do find some every once in a while in these newer houses that might need some work. So here's one thing we're looking for. We're looking for newer windows. These white windows usually indicate newer windows. So those are good. Newer windows, newer windows. We're also looking for roofs. Roofs that might need repair, something like that. This neighborhood, this house, this street looks great. So we're not going to even worry about this. We're going to go on to the next street. So that's a dead end. And we'll just kind of drive down Mount Lake Terrace, and this is what real estate investors do when they drive properties, except for with the mapping the way it is, and with Google the way it is, I guess. It's not allowing me to do this. Whoa, Earth, come back. That'll happen sometimes, not very often, but it pretty much allows us to be able to drive down these streets like this. And here's Mount Lake Terrace right now, so it has it all outlined. I know for a fact this is actually Mount Lake. Like I said, right around here. And so this is all of Mount Lake Terrace. So you want to start with Mount Lake Terrace and just kind of look in this neighborhood. So we drove down this street already. That's good. Let's drive down this street. I think there's some not so nicer houses that might need some work in here. So I'll wait till it kind of populates and you kind of know what you're looking at. We got a dead end. We got some mixed style houses. You're looking for, like I said, come on, maybe work for me. Okay. I don't know why this is working like this today. Normally it's spot on. Okay. Um, and you can this map program is pretty sweet. You can get in there and you can kind of tell exactly, what you're looking at. This is an older house. Obviously that roof needs work. But they do have, some other things besides the house. They have a boat. They have a couple cars in there. So what we're looking for are lawns that are not kept. So this is something this is a good indicator. We look at this. This is November. Okay, if this was like say April, we would look out there and see pumpkins in April. That's not a good thing. That is a good thing for us. That's something we'd want to write down. But this just means that this has been out for a little while. Those are just recent decorations. So same thing if you find Christmas decorations. If you find Christmas decorations, you look up this map and it says June. You're going to know that that house probably hasn't been kept up for a while. This is obviously a nice house, nice yard. Don't have to worry about this one. We're looking for a gym that may need some work, basically. Not seeing any, but it's early in the process. We will find something. Unfortunately, we only have another 7 minutes in this video because this video only gives me 7 minutes. But we'll find something. So these is the nicer house, nicer neighborhood. Not too worried about any of these. All these yards are upkept. There's some nicer, newer fences. So we're looking for a gem in the rough, basically. It's a good way to put it. Okay, nice house, decent house, decent house, decent house, decent house, decent house. Okay. So this one looks like it might be a vacant situation. We do have a newer roof. We do have, some upkeep in the yard. But I see, here's the other thing I see. Okay, so we have the garbage cans out. So I look over here and I say, okay, these garbage cans are out too. This garbage can's out. It must be garbage day. So this person is living in the house and they're taking in and out their garbage. That's another good indicator there. That's one. If this is garbage laying out here and I didn't see all these other garbage cans, I'd say, oh, maybe this is a vacant one. Maybe we should write this one down. But this one, looks like the yard's upkept. The reason this one I paused for a second was because of this on here. Normally people don't cover their cars every night, so it might be a situation where this is, a vacant house. Okay, and just keep on driving. And you want to kind of keep track of these streets you're driving down. You don't want to drive down the same street more than once. There's no need to do that. And I don't know how you want to do that, but just do it. So this is kind of interesting. It's going to show you, you can drive to the end of these dead ends and look down every single street. I mean, you're basically driving a house right now. Um, I have driven down most of these streets before, so I kind of have a good lay of the land, I guess. But don't see anything in here. That's okay. You want to just kind of pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, we're back on this street, so I think this is going to be the end of that one. So on this side is shoreline. I know this because I live here, so drive up this street. So it normally lets you just drive right in there. Um, Sometimes you have to take this little man down here below the screen that you're not seeing and just kind of drop him in there, and then it'll do the same thing. So another thing, when you're looking at these, when you're driving on the overhead, you are looking for something with a lot of trash in their yard, a lot of stuff going on. So this one here, This has a lot of stuff going on back there. Sometimes it's just a project that someone's working on. Sometimes it means, okay, this person's a gardener with a lot of stuff going on. Another thing I like to look for when I look at these is tarps on the roof. Tarps on the roof are a surefire indicator that someone does not have enough money to pay for a new roof. That looks good. Let's drop in this one. Let's just see. Sometimes if you see work trucks, it means they have a bunch of other stuff going on. It means they have storage for their business, whatever that is. Usually construction or some sort. There's a lot of pea patches in there. A lot of stuff going on right here. Oh, there's a tarp right there. See? Blue tarper. Okay, so they're just covering a boat or something like that. That's fine. Okay. So yeah, this is the gist of it. Just kind of drive around and look for bad houses. This one right here, I see a tarp on the back of that roof. All right, this one's been decently taken care of. And sometimes these overhead views don't necessarily match up with the driving views. So this is November 2015. You know, a lot of stuff could happen between here and there. So, you know, I don't want to say take it with a grain of salt, but you know, it's pretty recent enough. All right, let's look over here. I'm going to take you to this one because I know where it is. This one right here is a gem. So look at this house. We're looking at this one. We have the yard's upcapped. That's great, but you see this roof line, it's falling down. You know, these are old windows. This structure looks like it's getting ready to fall down. If you go over here, you know, there's no garage, so you can't really tell if anyone's living there. That's fine. But there's some funky structure right here, you know, that has, I guess it holds in the furnace or something like that. Um, this is a good house. This is going to be a good project right here. So basically, just take this house right here, click on that, and sometimes it lets you do it, sometimes it doesn't. So I would have just another window open and just remember this house. It clicked onto it. Okay, this is how you do it. So you click on it, 23507, copy, take it back to your Excel sheet, paste that. And like I said, we'll have different categories later on. This is just kind of to get you started. You don't need the Washington on there. We know what state it's in. So Mountain Lake Terrace, Washington. Um, and then later on, we'll go back, like I said, into Realos. We'll go on because I can tell a lot of these neighborhoods. I can tell what the ARV or after repair value is going to be just by knowing the square footage. I can get a gut rough estimate. So we'll go into Realist. We will type the square footage in there, and then you know anything noted like maybe you know whether it's you know going to go to auction or something like that, and we'll write that in this category as well. But we have another website called Howard's Data Source, and I'll tell you exactly how much they owe. And with that number, I can guess a rehab, and I can tell you what the ARV is going to be just by the square footage. So, you know, I'll know right away if it's worth you know going after that property and actually going and knocking on the door. And I will go and knock on the door for each of these properties. So, this is you know just a project to do when basically there's nothing else to do. I will get you know, with the powers that be today, and I will ask them, you know, what you have going on in the future. You know, like I said, if anything, it's you know we have too much work and we're too busy to to basically find anything for you. I know that sucks, but your job is more than secure here, and we do appreciate everything you're doing for us. And have a great day. And